So, Hexxit 100 days. No! No! Can we survive? Let's find out. Before we start out, let me explain. I have 3 attempts to beat Hexxit Hardcore, and I gave myself 5 goals that I wanna accomplish within this 100 days. First is get endgame Hexxit armor. Second is raid 5 big structures. Third is to build or to conquer a base. Fourth one is to kill Ender Dragon, and last one is to survive. The first attempt was not bad. I've gathered basic resources, I've looted few structures, and then on day 14th I have died. Play the edit. No! No! Alright, you have basically seen it enough times already. So for the first day, I started gathering resources, and after I gathered everything, I went to sail on the sea. In the dawn of new day, I was exploring and I stumbled upon a village with blacksmith, which had decent loot. Then I've noticed an interesting tree and I've decided to cut it down, and it had pink wood. Can we respect that for a minute? And by the end of the day, I've stumbled upon a village, not village, but on a jungle temple. I haven't seen one in years. I've looted the temple, and on the day 3 I've stumbled upon my first diamonds, and I've made diamond sword and boots from those. On the day 4, while I was sailing, I've noticed underwater catacombs, and I've decided to explore that a bit. There is one mob that is basically enchanted, there are practicals coming out of it, and that mob, I call them elite mobs. They drop strong loot when you kill them. On the day 5 I got OP sword, big sword, and I've looted some chests. I got OP pants from that, and then a Grim Reaper appeared, and when it poured it, I was scared for my life. So I've decided to go away. Throughout the days 6 to 9, I've been exploring a lot. That was the time when I wanted to find a spot for my base, and I've stumbled upon this interesting village which had mineshaft, abandoned mineshaft beneath it. So I've explored the mineshaft a bit, and I've noticed that there is a zombie spawner really close. But after all, I've still decided that I will find a better spot for my base. Another day, day 10, and same old catacombs from the day 4. Not exactly the same, but the dungeon was same. On day 11, I've explored some more, I sailed a bit, and I've stumbled upon some interesting sights. For example, these 2 big ships, or this mountain that was in the sunset, which were pretty nice. I've decided to change the strategy on day 14th, and I threw my first Eye of Ender, which I got from looting the underwater catacombs. After a few throws of Eyes of Ender, I had approximate location of the stronghold, and it was on this island. Well, you should remember this island and you will see in a bit why. Day 15 and night from day 15 to 16, I've basically just sailed for most of that, and also I was thinking where I should start my base. And on the day 16, I finally decided where I want to build my base. As I was thinking about what my base should look like, I've decided to go with an attempt to build a Japanese style fortress, because last year I've been in Japan and I like the architecture of Japanese fortresses. I was in Osaka Castle, so I've decided to try to build one myself in this playthrough. Day 17, I went to gather some resources for my build. So I went mining. And while I was in the mines, I somehow got distracted and ended up in the stronghold exploring it. For the day 18, I've built a cobble generator because I just was not able to mine enough cobble. Then I've destroyed it and I've remade it shortly after. Throughout the day 19 to 22, I've mined stone at the generator and I gathered occasionally some wood to make coal, which I would be using to make stone and stone bricks. A thunderstorm happened on day 21, which was pretty cool. Nothing happened, but it was cool. And on day 23 I started smelting wood for the charcoal, which I used for stone later on and stone bricks. Day 24 I've started smelting a lot of stone and I started reading a book about Tinker's Construct, which I didn't know that at the time, so in my notes I've named it Book About Smeltery. On the day 25 I started building a foundation for our base, and by the day 26 I was finished. And I went ahead and had a look from further away if it looks decent enough. And it did. On day 27 I've started raiding again, and this time I've raided a tower, and holy, the cave spiders are so annoying. Also the boss fight went like this, and it gave some really cool loot. On day 28 I've been exploring a bit and I've noticed a Maui statue, and I've decided to name him Chad the Chad Maui. Also I've raided another tower, and literally this is how the boss fight went again. I've started collecting some furnace blocks from Tinker's Construct from nearby village, and then I raided this castle. It had pretty interesting boss fight, but big one, the big goblin, was easy to take on, but the boss fight after a while it was annoying, and I've decided to throw poison grenades on him. Literally, have a look how the boss fight went. Well, do you remember how my first attempt went? Where did I die? Well, I've decided to raid another one of these castles and I've nearly died. Look at that damage. Half of my HP in full diamond. Then on day 31 I started reading again. I did the same on day 32, day 33 to 35. These are the days when I started working on the first story of our house. As for day 35, I went mining marble because my reference of my build was actually Takashima Castle in Japan. You can see the reference picture currently on the screen. As for days 36 and 37, I've just started working on second floor of the fortress, used the marble blocks for the white walls of the castle, and on day 37 I finished moving in. As for day 38, I've once again visited Underwater Dungeon and I've raided another tower. I honestly believe that these towers are best in terms of quality of loot versus the risk for getting that loot. They are the best in my opinion. On day 39 I've raided another castle which had the final boss a lich, which was powerful enough but I had OP bow. Day 40 to day 44 I went inside a volcano, which was another dungeon. Getting to the heart of the volcano was really long. On day 45 I finally managed to reach the heart of the volcano where the final boss was. 500, 400. Eventually the boss was defeated. With new loot, I've returned back, sorted items, and then I went on another raid, this time closer to a small tower, which was pretty lame. And then on my way back, I've noticed these black rifts. Oh no. On day 48, I went to remove the rifts. On day 49, I started working on a roof. And then throughout the days 50 to 56, I've managed to do quite a lot of job on the roof. By the day 51, I've managed to complete the roof of the first floor. Also, I was working on the second floor throughout the days 51 to 54, and on the third floor throughout the days 54 and 55. On day 56, I went to have a peek if the house is decent enough. And I've gotta say, I am pretty happy with how it turned out. Why, it looks somehow good. What? It looks actually decent. I would say even that it looks good. Why does it look good? I have no clue. On day 57, I went mining. Also, while I was mining, I've noticed that basalt is located everywhere, but it is very deep. And on day 58, I've spent most of day 58 smelting the blocks. On day 59, I went exploring again, and I saw this cool pirate's ship on land, weirdly generated, which was funny in my opinion. And then on day 60, I went to raid once again the tower. Yep. That's how I died. I died to fall damage because I've put on freezerite boots which can freeze water. That's how I died. Hexxit broke me. But we still have one more try, and I am up for that challenge to give it one more try to survive 100 days. If you wanna see me do one last attempt to beat this challenge, leave a like. For 3 likes, if there will be 3 likes, I will give it one more try. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.